Now, I don't like people looking at this clip and saying, Hemmer and the other anchors, oh, they didn't want him to win Arizona. No, we don't know that. They were just surprised. I've done that job. And when you haven't gotten advance notice, sometimes things just roll out and happen, and they were just doing the job. I'm not accusing them of anything here. But I am accusing Chris Stirewalt of this. He got it right. Biden did win Arizona. We know it 15 ways from Sunday now. And in no coincidence, he wound up not being at Fox much longer. Now, we got a better reason why. Calling Arizona for Biden, AKA getting it right, was bad for business at Fox. And that is what their coverage was apparently about. Business. Joining me now is former Fox News political editor during the Trump era, and much more important to me, NewsNation's political editor, Chris Stirewalt. As I told you when we first met, and I just want to repeat for everybody now, I was very impressed with the self-respect and the integrity that it took making that call, which was just doing your job, but living with it afterwards. I always respected it. I always will.
Well, I was very privileged to be part of what was the best decision desk in television. Such a great group of people. I was so privileged to do my little part, and it was great. And I also have to tell you, I loved a lot of my decade at Fox, but I have never had a more fun election night and never felt like I was getting to do exactly what I wanted to do as I did sitting next to you in November. So I'm very pleased to be with you tonight and very pleased to be with NewsNation.
Well, here is to many more for us, because if I know I'm sitting next to you, I'm going to get it right and for the right reasons. Now, did you ever have any imagination that calling Arizona for Biden would be a problem?
Well, I mean, there's a problem and then there's a problem. I think, obviously, I knew that Republicans would be upset, right? But I also knew that it was unlikely that Donald Trump was going to win a second term. The polling all of the indicators pointed to that Donald Trump had maybe a 1 in 10 chance of winning the presidency, and things were not lining up for that to happen. So I knew Republicans would be upset because that's what happens when people lose an election. I was not aware, I did not understand how deeply afraid so many people where I worked were of their own audience. And that is really what you get to see as this stuff comes out, which is afraid of their own audience and afraid to level with them and tell them how things are and deal with it, right? If you're so afraid of your audience that you won't even tell them the truth about something like this and do it in a open-faced, straightforward way and get on with it, you think that you're getting better ratings. You think that you're keeping that sugar high of election ratings. But really what you're doing is hurting your credibility and buying yourself a long-term problem. So I watched Fox trade a short-term problem, which would be the decline in ratings after a presidential election, which is what happens. That's right. Just the business. That's how it goes. They traded that for this long-term problem that they're still dealing with.
Are you surprised that McCarthy gave that material to Carlson of all people when he knew this stuff was coming out and he knew what that guy's about?
I think to get that speakership and to hold on to it now, Kevin McCarthy would show up in the House in a straw hat and a garter and do three stanzas of Yankee Doodle. He'd do anything to have and keep that job.
But doesn't it make the suggestions about what they did about the election even more obvious, given the guy's doing it again right now? I mean, we all watched what happened on January 6th. You see the letter that came out from the police chief, the Capitol Police Chief? I just saw it online. The USCP chief manager of the Capitol Police Department. When's the last time you ever heard something like this? A police department putting out a letter calling Fox Primetime an opinion program that was filled with offensive and misleading conclusions about the January 6th attack. You know, the network that supposedly backs the blue. Here's the chief of police saying, you lied about us and what happened on January 6th. Nobody were tour guides. They were doing what they could to de-escalate. What does that mean, you think, ultimately for the audience?
I don't want to be excessively corny, but I will have to say that as journalists and as Americans, we have special responsibilities. We have special duties to not engage in profit making that is harmful to the country. And what we're witnessing here with McCarthy's choice for how to release this, with Fox's choice of how to air this, all of these are short-term, individually facing choices instead of choices that strengthen institutions. It's not good for the Republican Party to continue to dwell on January 6th, and especially not good for the Republican Party generally to dwell on the possibility that somehow it was permissible or that it was acceptable or that the election really was stolen. That's not good for what the Republican Party's interests are in 2024. That's terrible. That's not what voters want to talk about.
Yeah.
That doesn't connect them with persuadable voters. That's bad, but it's good for Kevin McCarthy. It's good for Tucker Carlson. It's good in their narrow interest, but it's not good for the institutions that they claim they're serving.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.